Hello everyone. In today's class we are going to discuss about maxima commands related to sets. And we all know what is meant by a set. A set is a collection of well-defined objects or elements. And the function is a mapping from one set to another set such that every element of A will have unique image in B. And let's see the commands, and afterwards we'll execute them with examples in Maxima. Suppose if you write set with simple bracket and the elements, say first element, second element, say 1, 2, 3, element A, B, C, like that. If you give this command set simple bracket A, B, C, D, etc., it returns as a set with a flower bracket flower bracket A, B, C. It assumes that it's a set. Or simply you can give within flower bracket A, B, C. Then the system will understand that it's a set and it will retain the same thing as a output. And if you give this command set if y with simple bracket and square bracket of elements, the square bracket is nothing but list or array or matrix. So this list will be converted into set if you use the command set if y of this simple bracket with square bracket element 1, element 2, etc. say A, B, C, D, E. Then you will get a set within flower bracket A, B, C, D, E. So this command is used to convert any list into set if y. Then the next command is within simple bracket equal simple bracket x comma y. Suppose x is one expression or equation, y is another expression or equation. Then we are verifying whether these two expressions are equal or not. Is simple bracket equal within that simple bracket two equations. If these two equations are equal, then this will return true. This will return true. If these two are not equal, then it will return unknown. You will get the answer as unknown. We'll see these commands with examples in Maxima. Then the next command is union of say set A, set B. You don't have to write set A, set B. Simply you can write A, B, etc. or any sets. Then union of this will give you union of these sets. That is combining all the elements of this set. You will get a distinct set. It's set with distinct elements. Then intersection of set 1, set 2, etc. will give you intersection of these sets. That is common elements of these sets. Or simply you can give intersect also. Both are one and the same. It returns the same answer. Then the next command is cardinality of set. So this returns the number of distinct elements of this set. Cardinality means what? Number of distinct elements of set 1. Then the next command is adjoin of x, a. Here x is any element, a is a set. If you use this command, then elements of a will be taken along with x and you will get a new set which is the union of x and a. Or simply you can give, instead of this, union. If you give x and union of x and a, it will not take, because x is an element, it is not a set. Your union command works for sets. So I have to make this one as a set. Either you give simply flower bracket x or set within this. So this will be a set. Union of these two will be the new set. That is what? Adjoin X with A means X will be included in A and you will get a new set, the elements of A with X. And disjoin of X comma A. That means disjoin means you are removing an element X if it is present in A. Or you can give delete X comma A means you will delete X if it is present in A. Or set difference A comma set X. So you are finding the difference of set A and B. If this is B, then you are finding A minus B. That means all the elements of B are removed from A. What are the elements? It is only X. So if A contains X, it will be removed and remaining elements will be displayed. Similarly, the next one is Cartesian product of sets. Cartesian underscore product. Your command is Cartesian underscore product of set 1 comma set 2 etc. What is Cartesian product of say set A and B? Yes, Cartesian product of set A and B is equal to set of all ordered pairs. So you have to write simple bracket A comma B, small a comma small b. It is set of all small ordered pair small a comma small b, where A comes from A and B comes from B. You have to give all the values of set A and set B to set A element will be given to small a, set B elements will be given to small b. You will get all the combinations. That is your Cartesian product. So if you want to find the Cartesian product of any two sets or any number of sets, simply you have to give Cartesian underscore product of sets, set 1, set 2, etc. Then disjoint predicate. So you are predicting whether set 1 and set 2 are disjoint or not. What is meant by disjoint? Yes, any two sets are said to be disjoint provided they don't have a common element. That means their intersection will be empty. Set 1 intersection set 2, if it is empty, then they are disjoint. So this command disjoint P verifies whether there is any common element or not. If they are disjoint, then it will display true. Otherwise, if there is any common element between these two, then it displays false. Once after execution of this, returns true if these two are disjoint, otherwise false. The next one is element predicate X comma A. Here X is an element, A is a set. This command executes and finds whether X is an element in A or not. If X is an element in A, then it returns true. If X is not an element in A, then it returns false. Then empty predicate of set 1. This command predicts whether your set 1 is empty or not. If it is empty, it returns true. Otherwise, it returns false. Subset of set 1 with respect to function 1. This command gives the subset of set 1. Subset of set 1, those elements satisfies the condition function 1. So what this command gives? This gives you subset of set 1 satisfying function 1. So this returns subset of set 1 satisfying the function 1. Then what is this command? Subset of set 1 comma set 2. Actually, this is subset P. Sorry, here P is missing. Subset predicate. Subset predicate. This is not subset. So this predicts whether your set 1 is the subset of set 2. Subset P is missing here, you add it. Subset P of set 1 comma set 2. This predicts whether your set 1 is a subset of set 2. If set 1 is subset of set 2, then it returns true. If set 1 is not subset of set 2, then it returns false. The next command is divisors of n. Remember, your n is a non-zero element. So the divisors of non-zero element n will be displayed, and only positive divisors will be displayed in the output. Let's see these commands, and let's solve some examples which gives an idea of these commands. Now let's solve those examples in Maxima. What was the first one? Construct the empty set. Let's construct the empty set. As usual, we'll start with kill all, kill all. Okay. As I told you, a set will be defined by set simple bracket. I want to display this. You know that if you want to display the output, then you have to use semicolon. If you don't want to display the output, then you have to give $sign. I want to display it. Since this set contains no element, empty set means no element, simply you give simple bracket, or you put enter. Simply you can give flower bracket also. That also displays the empty set. Right? Now if you want to execute these two lines, then you have to give shift enter. See, shift enter gives you empty set. Shift enter gives you what? Empty set. Now after this, what is the next example that you are having? Next you are having, next example is construct the set A, which is equal to set containing A, B, C, D. Okay, so let us write kill all. Okay, kill all. Then I want to construct a set A. So I had given a name A. In that set, I want to assign with elements A, B, C, D. I want to display this. Alright. So after this, this will display, or this will assign A with this value. If you want to display this capital A also, I'll put single apostrophe with A. See? Single apostrophe with A equal to this. Right? I'll show you both. Yeah, otherwise you can give like this also. A with set A, B, C, D. Like this also you can give. If you want to display A equal to set A assigned with A, B, C, D. See what it gives. Shift enter. See? Here A set capital A has been assigned with A, B, C, D. Whenever you call A will display this set. If you want to display this capital A, then you have to write, whenever you want to display something, first you have to give apostrophe and that name or that variable. So that will be displays as it is, equal to, this will be displayed as it is, A equal to. Then this set A, B, C, D. That's it. See, if you want to test, simply you give A, you ask what it is, shift enter. See, that set will be displayed. So this is how you can write a set. And the next set which I need to construct is set B. So let me give a single apostrophe B is equal to B assigned with set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want to display this, so I'll give semicolon. Okay, B will be displayed this. So this is how you can create a set. If you want to, if you don't want to display this B, simply you have to assign B with this and you have to display this. Then you give shift enter. This will be displaying set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it will not show B is equal to. If you want to display that, then you have to give single apostrophe with B equal to. Then it takes that. What is the next example? Construct this set from the following list. So what is the next command? The next command is set if y. That converts list into set. So as usual, I'll write kill all. That kills everything. Then set if y with open bracket. What are the lists they are given? The first list, yes, you have to write within square bracket P, Q, R. I want to display this, so I'll use semicolon. I'll type another example here only, set if y. What is the next list? A, B, C, D. You can write in the same line. Once when you write semicolon, semicolon or dollar, that indicates that end of that line. Execute this line, then it will move on to next line. It will execute this first, then it will execute this. You can write like this. Now I'll execute this using shift enter. See, your matrix or array or list was PQR. That has been converted into set. Flower bracket indicates set. First set, second set. This is how you can convert any list into a set. What is the next example? Verify whether the following expressions or equations are equal or not. Yes. The next command which says if you want to verify any two equations are equal or not, you have to use the command is within simple bracket equal within simple bracket. You have to give the equations, right? Simply you can write P divided by C plus Q divided by C. This is first equation, comma P plus Q, make it as one term by giving bracket whole divided by C. Now execute this using shift enter. See, it is displaying true because P by C plus Q by C. If you take LCM, it is C, so P plus Q by C. So these two are equal. You can give in the other way also. What is that? Kill all. I'll call first equation as some small a, right? Small a is P by C plus Q by C. Small a is what? P by C plus Q by C. I don't want to display this, so I'll put a dollar sign and I'll assign next equation. Let me write some x and y. Next equation is this. I'll write this one as some y. and I don't want to display this, so I'll put a dollar sign. Now your command is equal x comma y. This is how you can simplify the expression. Execute this. What it gives? Shift enter. Oh, I want to display the result, so I'll use semicolon. Yes, see, you'll get the same answer, true. This is how you can split the program if you want to make it look very nice. Now the next equation which we need to verify is kilal dollar. Let me give one as x. What is your x? Oh, I've used x, so let me give some a. It is x minus 1 multiplied by x plus 1. I don't want to display this. Let me give b as x square. Only one term is there, so I'm not giving bracket. I'll put dollar sign. I don't want to display this. And the next one is c. What is your c? X minus 3. Now we want to verify whether they are equal or not. Is equal. Which are they? A, B, C. If you give, what happens? See, is not an infix operator. Why? You can give only two expressions. Yes, that's the problem here. So let's give only two of them and see. Oh, here $1 is missing. Now let's give this. Wrong number of arguments. So you cannot give three equations. You can check any two are equal or not. So let's see first to whether these two are equal. Yes, these two are equal. Now let me write the same thing and let me see whether B and C are equal. Whether B and C are equal. Yes, A and B are equal, but B and C are not equal. That's why it is showing you unknown. What about A and C? Let's see. A and C are also not equal. That's why it is showing you unknown. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Kilal. Your A is 1 in the next example. Let's give B as sine square x. Sine of x cap 2. Yes, sine of x cap 2 is sine square x. Don't get confused. It will not take this one as sine x square. No, it is sine of x whole square. It will assume it as sine of x whole square. If you want to write sine x square, you have to give within bracket x square. This will be sine x square. This will be sine x square. But when you give like this one is sine square x plus cos square x. Cos square x. I don't want to display this. Now we'll verify whether these two are equal or not. Is equal A comma B. We know that sine square x plus cos square x, that is sine square theta plus cos square theta, is always equal to 1. So these two must be equal. Let's see. But it is showing unknown. That means it is not true. But actually we know that sine square x plus cos square x is equal to 1. Then where is the wrong? Yes. You have to use one command called trigonometric simplification. Which command? Trigonometric simplification. If you use trigonometric simplification, then the command is true. Yes. Now it is showing you true. So trig sim will be used to simplify trigonometric trigonometric expressions. Otherwise, you will not get the answer. Okay, we'll discuss this one in the later class. Right? Next, we have to find the following. So, first we have to assign the sets with, L, set L. What is your set L? It is A, B, C. Okay, set L. I don't want to display this. If you want to display, you have to give semicolon. Then set M. What is your set M? Your set M is A. Set M is what? A, comma, D, comma, E. Okay, let me display this. What is your N? N is assigned with elements 1, 2, 3. Let me display this one also. What was your first one? L union M. How you are going to find the union of two sets? Yes, the command is union of L comma M. Okay, next, union of M comma N. You have to give capital N if you use capital N, because if you give small n, it is unknown for this. Small n is assigned with no value. It is case sensitive. You have to remember that. If you want to go for next line, just you press enter. Don't use shift enter. Shift enter will execute it. Just you give enter. Next, we want to find L union M union N. Right? You can write everything in one line. Right? It will display, because after semicolon, it takes next one as next executable statement. So there will be no problem if you write in a horizontal line also. Right? The next one is intersection of L and M. What is the intersection of L and M? You can give intersect or intersection, doesn't matter. I want to display this. Intersection of M and N, semicolon, intersect or intersection of L, M and N. You can write like this also, no problem. Let's see by executing this using shift enter. See, what is your L? Set ABC. What is your M? Set ADE. What is your N? 1, 2, 3. What is the union of L and M? What is union of these two? A, B, C, D, E. That is what? A, B, C, D, E. What is the union of M and N? A, D, E, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, A, D, E. What is the union of L, M, N? A, B, C, D, E with 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D, E. Next, what is the intersection of L and M? Common element. What is the intersection of L and M? A. So it is singleton A. Singleton set, a set containing only one element. What is the intersection of M and N? No common element between M and N. Therefore, intersection is empty. Alright? What is the intersection of L, M, N? That is common element between L, M, N. Between these two there is common, but that is not present here. So intersection is empty. That is what it is showing. So this is how you can write union and intersection commands. Okay. Next, we have to find the cardinality of the sets L, M, N. Okay. What is your L? L is same. So A, B, C. Let me kill it. Kill the earlier values, earlier stored values. Kill. Okay. A, B, C. What is your A? Your A is a set. Your set A B, C, D. Okay, semicolon. Then what is your what is your B? Your B is set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, what you are finding? We have to find the cardinality. So the command is cardinality of L, semicolon, cardinality of A, semicolon, cardinality of B, semicolon. Let's see what it gives. Yes. What are your sets? L, A, B. They have been assigned and displayed because of semicolon. If you use dollar sign, see, L is not displayed. If you use dollar sign, it will be stored. A will be stored with this set, but result will not be displayed. See, displayed. What is the cardinality of L? 3 elements are there. 3 distinct elements. So 3. How many distinct elements? 4. How many distinct elements? 5. See, I'll give D, C. Now what is the cardinality of A? Not 5. Only 4 distinct elements are there. See? Cardinality will not change. Because in a set, we can write only once. An element will be written only once. So it will consider only number of distinct elements. This is how it runs the program. Now what is the next command? The next command is joining an element with a set. So let's write kill all and let's store the value L with A, B, C, M with A, D, E, okay, and N with 1, 2, 3. Okay, if you want to display you can, otherwise simply give this. Now what is the first question? Join D to L. So let's join D with L. How? Adjoin D with L. This joins D with L. Next, join B to M. Adjoin. Right? Adjoin, otherwise you can give this command also. Union of set or simply you can give flower bracket B with M. Right? Next, adjoin. Okay, next one is remove. Yeah, how you are going to remove it? Remove any elements? Yes, you have to give disjoin. Disjoin. Let me do one thing. Let me write this one as it is. Adjoin of this. Only thing, in the case of adjoin, you have to write this one as element. Right? Now, disjoin. What you are disjoining? You are removing an element 2 from N. So, disjoin 2 from N. Otherwise, you can write delete. Right? That is what the command we discussed. You can write delete also. Delete 2 from N. Or otherwise, you can write set difference. Set difference of. Now you have to make this one a set. Is that right? Don't get confused. Set difference of N. From this N, you have to remove A. That is 2. Right? The next question is disjoin and remove A from L. So remove means disjoin A from L. And let's see. See this. Your L is stored with this, M is stored with this, N is stored with this. Adjoin D to L. Now this will display elements of L together with D. See this, A, B, C, D. A, B, C with D. Adjoin B with M. So B will be joined with elements of M if B is not present. So B with M. A, B, D, E. See this? Union of set B with M. This will union the elements of M with B. That is what A, B, D is same. So these two commands are one and the same. Only thing, while writing, you should be careful about the syntax. Here in the case of adjoin, just you have to write the element. In the case of union, this element has to be made as a singleton set. Next command is disjoin. Disjoin means remove 2 from N. So that answer will be 1 and 3. See this? Delete 2 from N. This will also do the same thing. This will delete 2 from N. 1, 3 will be there. Set difference of N and 2. So from N, this set will be deleted. Elements of this set will be deleted. How many elements are here? Only 1, 2. So that 2 is present in N. So it is deleted. Disjoin A from L. What is your L? It is ABC. From this it is removing A. So BC will remain. So this is how you can use this command. And while writing programs in future, you have to make use of these commands. Next one is finding the Cartesian product of the given sets. What is your L? Your L is, okay, let me kill it, kill all. What is your L? It is A, B, C. I'll write down. What is your M? It is A, D, E. Yeah, I don't want to display this. What is your N? It is 1, 2, 3. Okay, now what is your Cartesian product that you are finding? Yes, first we are finding the Cartesian product of L and M. Cartesian underscore product of L, comma M. What will be your answer? Let's see. What are the elements of L? A, B, C. What is your M? A, D, E. So your Cartesian product will be right within, it's an ordered pair. It's an ordered pair. It's a list. A with A, A with D, A with E. Then B with A, B with D, B with E. C with A, C with D, C with E. That is your Cartesian product. This is how Cartesian product will be calculated. So remember here, first element is coming from L and the second element is coming from M. So the Cartesian product of L and M is set of all elements A, B, where A comes from L and B comes from M. So you have to give all the values of L to A and all the values of M to B. See, that is what I had given. First I had given A, then B, then C. Similarly this. Now the next question is Cartesian product of M and N. So Cartesian product of M and N. So this will display the list with first element from M, second element from N for all combinations of elements of M and N. Next is Cartesian product of L, M, N. Cartesian product of L, M, N. Right? This is Cartesian product of M and N. This is Cartesian product from here, output line 6 to here. Right? This is Cartesian product of L, M, N. First finds the Cartesian product of L and M. That's why see here A, A with 1, A with 2, A with 3. That is what it is doing. Next, A. Now here A with all these elements are over, so it goes for D. A, D1. See here. Next, A, D2. A, D3. That is how it runs like a loop. Next, so all three elements are exhausted in N. So after D it takes E now. A, E1, A, E2, A, E3. Now all the elements are exhausted and all the elements of M are also exhausted. Therefore, it goes for B now. B, A1. See? BA1, BA2, BA3. Next after that BD1, BD2, BD3. Like that it goes on till the elements of L are exhausted. Right? This is how we can find the Cartesian product. So what you are having after this? After this, we have to verify whether the sets are disjoint or not. So as usual, I'll write kill all. Then I'll assign these sets L with ABC, M with ADE, N with 1, 2, 3. Now we have to verify whether they are disjoint or not. So we have to use disjoint predicate. We have to verify using disjoint predicate. Disjoint predicate of first one is what? L and M. Verify whether L and M are disjoint. Next, disjoint predicate M, N. Next one is disjoint predicate N, or L, N. Right? So we have to verify whether these are disjoint or not. Am I right? Okay. Now you know that L and M are not disjoint because there is a common element A. M and N are disjoint because there is no common element. If their intersection is empty, then they are disjoint. What is your L and N? They are disjoint. So what it displays? First one is false because they are not disjoint. Next two are disjoint. M and N, L and N. Right? Okay. Next we have to verify whether the given element is present in that set or not. So it use the command. Yes, element predicate. Kill all as usual. I'll start with kill all. Then I'll assign the sets. What is your set? A, B, C, M with A, D, E, N with 1, 2, 3. Now I'll predict whether these are disjoint, whether these elements are present or not. First one is whether A is present or not. Element P of A, L. This will verify whether your A is an element in this or not. Then the next one is element predicate 2 is an element of N or not. Next one is element predicate 1 is an element of M or not. See, 2, A is an element of L, 2 is an element in N, but 1 is not an element in M. That's why it is false. So this is how element predicate will be executed. Then the next one is verify whether the sets L, A, L, M, N the disjoint or not, empty or not. So already we have used LMN with the same set, so I don't want to write again. Just I'll write A. What is your A? Your A is empty set, right? Then I'll verify empty predicate L, empty predicate M, empty predicate N, empty predicate A. Now it will predict whether these sets are empty or not. See, your L is not empty because it contains ABC. M is not empty. N is not empty. But your A is empty. That's why it is displaying true. If it is empty, it displays true. The next one is find the subset of the following with the given function. Suppose if your L, I'll kill all the earlier stored values. Your L is stored with A, B plus C and C minus D. And what is your M? Your M is 2, 5, 6, 9, 11. And what is your next one? Your next set is N. What is your N? It is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we want the subset of L satisfying the condition only atoms. I want to display only atoms. Subset of this. Next one is subset of M with only odd integers, odd predicate. I want to display this. Next one is subset of N with only even numbers, even predicate. See what happens? Yes, here only atom is A. These are sum of two numbers or difference of two numbers. So subset of this L is A, this set. And subset of M with only odd integers. What are odd integers? 5, 9, 11. And in the next one N, subset of N with only even integers. What are even integers? 2 and 4. This is what it is displaying. Now, next one is verify whether the following are subsets or not. So, A, L, M, N. Already we had given A is empty set, so no need to give. Only thing I'll change L. What is your L? It is A, B, C. Right? Yeah. What is your M? Your M is A, D, E. It kills the earlier value and you write down A with this, N with this, and M with this. Now, we'll write subset predicate whether your A is subset of L. Subset predicate whether your L is subset of M. Subset predicate whether your N is subset of N or not. We'll predict. See, argument must be a set. Found A. It is not finding A. So let's give A also. What is your A? It is empty set. See here. Yeah. Subset A. Right? Is that predicting? Okay, let me give kill all so that kills all the earlier stored values. Now, see, we know that A, which is a subset, empty set is subset of L, but it is not displaying that. So, subset predicate whether your A is subset of L or not. Now, let me replace this L with A. it is false. But empty set is always subset of any set, so it has to be true. Okay, let me give this. So in the case of empty set, it is showing empty only, but whereas in this case your L is subset of M. Is that true? Whether your L is subset of M? Yes or no? No. Remember, your A is subset of L. That's why it is showing you true. Because here I have put semicolon sign, it is showing that. I'll not show this one now. See here now. Whether your A is subset of L? Yes. Empty set is subset of L. Empty set is always subset of all sets. Next, whether your L is subset of M? No. Element B and C are not present in M, whereas A is present. That's why L is not subset of M. What is the subset definition? Every element of this set must be in this set. Then only this is subset of this. But B and C are not present. Therefore, this will show you false. What about subset predicate N of N? Yes, every element of N is present in N. Yes, every element of this N, set N, 1, 2, 3 is present in this. Therefore, it is subset. So, that set itself is subset of that set. That is what it is showing you. So, this is how you can verify the subset predicate command. Now, find the divisors of, straight away I'll give 124, divisors of 327 and divisors of minus 498. See, these are the positive divisors of 124, 327 and minus 498. So this gives you the positive divisors of the numbers. Thank you.